or so, and the sou'wester was picking up and then now abated. They're racing. And the first away, 1 org with Wave Hill Spur. Keeper's Son jumped out nicely and is going up searching for the lead. Rogan Semp was quickly out of the gates as well, rushing forward. Patcherack will be posted wide as they'd settle, going up towards the back, and they're being followed in the middle. Middle Earth. Over on the rails then, Miles Moment. Dark Prospect 3 deep in the early stages. Mrs. Hartley went right back, and last on the rails, Double Digit. Less than 1,200 to travel, and Keeper's Son had held the front. Leads the way going out to the Riverside for Lucy Warwick by 3/4. Wave Hill Spur. They're not going overly hard. Over on the inside then, 1 org. Spin on Command is up running fourth. Couldn't get to the top. Rogan Sent found itself 3 deep. 1.5 lengths to Patcherack, who's trailing it. Over on the rails behind them at the 800 is Miles Moment. 1/2 length. Middle Earth just getting squeezed back into the field. Only 3 behind it now. Dark Prospect has covered extra ground. Double Digit back there. And Mrs. Hartley is towards the rear of the field. 600 left to go. And Warwick's now starting to allow Keeper's Son to roll. It's Keeper's Son, nearly 2 lengths. Wave Hill Spur coming off the bridle quickly. The same 1 org. And then came Rogan Sent. Spin on Command under pressure back there in the field as Keeper's Son set sail for the judge and had raced about 3 or 4 in front. Further back in the field then, Middle Earth trying to get into the open space with Dark Prospect, but Keeper's Son at the 200 mark led by 4 lengths. Now 5 battling away behind them on the inside. 1 org Wave Hill Spur, but Keeper's Son has treated them to an absolute lesson. Keeper's Son by nearly 6. Middle Earth has got home to grab second. A big run, Mrs. Hartley from the back to grab third. Over on the inside then, 1 org. Patcherack, Rogan Sent, Dark Prospect, Spin on Command, never likely. Further back, Double Digit, and Miles Moment amongst the last of them in. Keeper's Son. 1:35.56 has put on a clinic. Keeper's Son, after it had found the front, got a lovely sectional breather and then kicked on the corner and had them done to a dinner. Keeper's Son, it's won by 5 or 6 in fast time. 1:35.56. Middle Earth has grabbed second. Mrs. Hartley wide out in third placing. And 1 org and Rogan Sent are in a tight battle for fourth, but Keeper's Son at 9:32.20 beats Middle Earth $1.40. Mrs. Hartley $5.90. So conditions ideal for Keeper's Son, who in front and has been ultra consistent, is very hard to run down. Turned out a treat by Arthur Mortimer today. He races the Scandal Keeper gelding out of Bella Pier, a 4-year-old that he has bred. Third win today from 16. Lucy Warwick jumped aboard and she got an armchair ride in front. Second placing, 7, Middle Earth by Blackfriars out of Perrette for Glenn and Jenny Kettlewell. Vaughan Sigley, trained by Vaughan Sigley, handled by Patrick Carberry. And third money to 11, Mrs. Hartley from towards the rear, running on well by Hartley's Spirit from Speed Dancer for Kelly Monaghan. Trained by Chris Willis, written by Clint Johnston Porter. No sign of fourth yet, but that was a one-act affair. An absolute walk in the park for Keeper's Son, who's in fabulous form at the moment and won by panels of fencing. About 5 or 6 the margin. We'll go down to Gareth in just a tick, catching up with owner-trainer Arthur Mortimer. Arthur normally would be leading his charge in, and that's what he's going to be doing in the next, so we might just to hold our horses as Arthur holds his down there prior to coming back. It was 5 lengths, the official margin, untouched. 1/2 length second and third. The judge declares a dead heat for fourth between 3, 1 org and 9 Rogan Sent. He couldn't find a margin. 6, 7, 11 a dead heat fourth, and sectional 35.53. It's 5 by 1/2 length, but that was a great win and a very, very happy Lucy Warwick is coming back aboard veteran trainer Arthur Mortimer's chestnut gelding Keeper's Son. Okay, he gets rewarded with a Saturday class victory at Ascot after some ultra consistent form. Race 6, the Guinness handicap over 2100 at 4:30. 6 Press the Petal will be out of the next, and Clint Johnston Porter will ride 15 Nuns Turindus. Okay, as Art Mortimer comes back, he leads Keeper's Son in. He's a really neat looking chestnut too, Keeper's Son. He looked as fit as a trout today. And Arthur only ever controls a very small team, but boy, over the years, hasn't he produced some really, really smart horses? And this could just continue to graduate through these easier grades and maybe get to a bit better standard. He turned him out looking an absolute picture this afternoon, and he ran accordingly, Keeper's Son. Arthur about to make his way back down there and join Gareth in a couple of moments. No doubt would be absolutely delighted, and gave Lucy the easiest of rides in front. Boy, didn't he fine on the corner when Lucy gave him a half an inch of rain. The race was all over. He put up 4 lengths on them before they knew what they were doing. They were all off the bridle chasing, and he had the race shot to pieces a long, long way out. Well, Gareth, we'll take it down there with you as Lucy unsaddles a little distance away from you down there in the #1 stall enclosure. Arthur still hanging on to Keeper's Son right at the moment. Might be a case of having to go over there and possibly catch up with them. No, he's been able to find a bit of help bringing the horse back. I don't think it's necessary there to bring him back in there. But anyway, that's just not worth the trouble. Lucy's got to the scales, though. Let's go down there with Gareth and Britt.
Thank you, Darren. Keeper's Son, a magnificent performance at Brittany. And what about the girls on St. Paddy's Day? They've dominated proceedings. Taylor Stone with the double, and now Lucy Warwick at her very best, leading all the way on a great 4-year-old here, and Keeper's Son, who just continues to race consistently well.
Well, the girls have dominated, and the crowd is absolutely loving it. And Lucy coming in to a welcome cheer from the Irish folk down here. Luce, that was a really nice effort from the horse, just out in front. Easy as that.
Yeah, he's really cool. I've never ridden him before. I've watched all his replays. He's very easy to ride. You know, he jumped quick, he come across, he settled when I asked him to, and then as soon as I give him a little squeeze at the 600, he just took off, and really I just was a passenger and probably did too much. I probably just had to sit still, but he gave me a great feel, and I was lucky to have the ride.
You mentioned in that he was the first time you've ridden him, but in the yard he does have the pony, but seemed to relax just beautifully.
Yeah, I remember one time early on he was a bit naughty in the mounting yard, and I think that's probably his security blanket, and I guess there's no point changing it if that's why he's happy. But they asked if I wanted to go by myself. I thought, no, just leave it, let him do his thing. He was happy with the pony. He was calm once he got there and got in the gates, and proved happy today.
Well, he just blew them away. You ride Doob Man Bro in the next, your expectations?
I think he should run on good from his run. First up run, he was a super run. I think we didn't expect too much from him. He's drawn a great gate, and he's proved he's very a genuine stayer, so I think he'll be right up there.
In that first up run, you rode Sandalwood. Your thoughts on that run?
It probably just didn't travel as well as I thought it would, and didn't really tack up into the race. It probably might be different today. It just wasn't feeling it that day.
Well, congratulations on this win, Lucy, and best of luck in the next.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Brittany. I'm joined by Arthur Border, one of the great characters of the sport here in the West, and Darren McCauley summed it up perfectly. You don't train too many, but you're very astute, and you've done a wonderful job with this 4-year-old, Arthur. Congratulations.
Oh, thanks very much.
He's been a really consistent horse, especially of late, and today he was at his best.
Yeah, I was a bit surprised at that.
Did you expect that? Obviously, you didn't expect him to win this easy.
No, I was hoping. I thought he'd run into place.
Yeah. Where do we go with him now? Because he dominated a pretty handy field. He's definitely a progressive type.
Yeah, well, I'll probably chance him at 2200 in a couple of weeks. Lucy just said he might run it, so we'll have a go, I think.
What do you think?
What's that?
What do you think? Do you think he'll get the 2200 metres?
I'm hoping.
What's it like to win on St. Paddy's Day in front of a big crowd here, Arthur?
Fantastic.
You might have to have a Guinness now.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Well done.
There's an Irish lady just there.
She's pretty happy too.
Yeah.
Well done, mate.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks a lot.